Good afternoon, everyone. Terraquator yet again on your Friday. I used to call this Fajita Fridays because I want fajitas now. I used to eat fajitas on Fridays, and now I do actually want some fajitas. I have to convince my family to let me have fajitas because apparently I'm the only one in the house that likes fajitas. I have chicken, but I'd need bell peppers and an onion. It's more tortillas. You know, I got to figure out if I want to have a chicken or a steak fajita, but either way, I could really go for some fajitas now. Again, anyway, getting on to it, this is day 12.
Action is
And I,
coming.
and I do like that these days match the day of the week for now. I do appreciate that. It makes things so much easier in terms of, being a forgetful little twit. Anyway, you got your sound. I have to figure out what we're going to do this weekend because it's going to be very, very cold. I mean, it's only 40 degrees Fahrenheit right now compared to the 66 it was yesterday. Was that yesterday? Or was that the day before? No, that was yesterday. It was really nice yesterday. Today sucks. It's going to be really bad on Monday. Really bad. Everywhere else around us is going to get snow. We're just going to get cold and wind. Yay. I'm going to freeze my fingers off. Woo. And I fiddle with stuff too much. Where's my fidget cube anyway? I could really use my fidget cube right now. The more I talk, the more I fidget. And I don't know where my fidget cube is. I'm going to have to find that. But again, not a whole lot to talk about. There's not a whole lot going on because everyone's just preparing for the cold. We had some good pasta last night. We did not have the spaghetti. We had chicken fettuccine Alfredo, which I only have like once every maybe 10 years. I don't like Alfredo at all. This one was all right. But I wouldn't go out of my way to ever have it again. Just really don't like Alfredo sauce, especially like store-bought jars of Alfredo. It's so freaking oily. I gag on it really bad. So none of that here for me, thank you. I will have some tea though. It's a bit on the hot side, so I can't have it yet. It's too hot. But it's just plain old mint tea today, nothing special. I will need to start thinking more game titles that I do have, because I'm not going to keep buying game titles just to do a short video. That'd be silly. I'd have to dedicate more time to do entire games, and that's what I was supposed to be doing when I started doing anything YouTube related. And that market's kind of dried up. I am curious as to why there are so many that are advocating that people quit YouTube and being content creators for any network or platform. Why there's such a trend on all these big ones quitting. And I am suspicious that they're aware of something that we're not. That's just me. When you see a pattern, you're like, something's up. They're bailing out. So does that mean we're going to be holding the bag, or people who are trying to get anywhere on here are just going to get a huge slap in the face soon? Maybe. That's kind of what I'm suspicious of. I am suspicious that there's this huge rule that's going to be coming out this year, and they're bailing out before they get hammered with it. But I could be wrong. Yeah. I'm kind of at a loss for thoughts. The main thing for me to be doing this is I don't want to be doing shorts for hey, by the way, I'm still sober. I mean, I could, if I have to, I'll do that. I just really hate shorts. And the reason is I already have problems with attention span. So doing that only encourages, it makes people with ADHD or ADD or any kind of attention problems and addiction problems. I believe that shorts are designed to addict rather than entertain. They're not there to really inform. They're there for doom scrolling. Because you open it up, you start scrolling, don't give a hoot. And what I'm finding is that it's hard to stop. And you're like, oh, just another one, just another one, just another one. It's worse than like the old Netflix binging. It's worse than that. This is not designed to create communities or create genres or anything like that. It is literally to addict and just keep people on a platform and watching things. And short form content means you get the most bull hoot or whatever. I just really don't like the few shorts I've done. I felt shameful doing. It's not something I want to be doing because I hate them. And I keep getting people tell me, you need to make a TikTok. You need to make a TikTok if you want to get anywhere. People are making money on TikTok. I'm like, I don't want a TikTok account. I mean, I barely use my Rumble account. I have that. I have my Twitch. I'm not on there very often. I'm not here very often either. But now I need to be to do these dailies. But everyone keeps telling me to do this TikTok, and I already don't like the idea of Google knowing everything I do and having to be beholden to Google and them in cahoots with the U.S. government. Do I really want to be beholden to the Chinese government too? Not really. And there's that. And from what I hear is that TikTok is unbelievably toxic. Like, it creates toxicity kind of thing. I mean, yeah, YouTube does too, but from what I've been seeing is nowhere near to the degree, and I don't want anger content. And I don't, from what I've heard and what I've barely seen with Lilia being on there, and I'm not thrilled about it, but it's her decision, and that's fine. She can make her own decisions, as any healthy relationship should. I don't like the interface on it. You open it up and it starts up. And searching specific things and specific people is not the easiest thing to do. It's anything around that. So it is a very curated platform, and it doesn't do anything for sense of community. I mean, I did watch that game theory thing about the fact that shorts will destroy YouTube, and that when they did, what was it, the VidCon or the Vid Awards or whatever, where they had these major TikTokers show up because they had millions of followers, but it was just completely empty. And that means, yeah, people might follow you and see some stuff, but you're not building a community of fans or anything like that. And I'm not going to be building any fans, so there is that. But it's you're at the whim of a trend. And I already hate trends. I really dislike trends because there isn't anything for me in a trend. I like to do my own thing of my own free will, of my own volition. And I typically try to wait until something's done being a thing before I decide to do something, because I don't like being surrounded by people trying to be part of a trend or the trendsetters. I want to be away from them, you know? Like me looking like a complete dork. I'm fine with that. Because I just don't want to care. Yeah. Anyway, this turned into another ramble, as I'm seeing right now. I will need to find other things to do. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of brain farting too, because I get lost in my thoughts and like, what am I saying again? boredom, right? But I am glad I made it to day 12. I'm on a Friday, so Fridays being the risk days, the risk is extremely low for me at this point. The chemical part with alcohol is completely gone. I'm I'm surprised how fast that part was. So now all that remains is the habit portion, and making a habit with me being here talking to you makes this all the easier. And I think the hardest part for this will just be getting good timing down, because now when I'm done with this, I'm going to be recording the game footage to put behind it, as another person had suggested. The idea works. It's just I don't like the idea of the same game day after day kind of thing. I'm not a fan of that. So I'll find something to put up that's fine, I guess. I did Genshin. I did Goat Sim 3. I've had Animal Crossing. I've had Warframe. I'm not doing PSO 2, so I'll find some other titles that I do have that'll be fine for it. But I'm not going to be going out of my way to buy games just to play on here. If it comes down to it, it's all about whether or not it's a game I enjoy. Because if I don't enjoy the game, I'm not going to play it. Plain and simple. I've had people ask me to play games like Hot Wheels. I'm a 35-year-old man. I don't even own a car. I don't make enough money to own a car anyway. I couldn't afford the insurance or the fuel or the registration, all of that. Couldn't afford that kind of stuff. So I walk everywhere. Why am I going to play Hot Wheels? I barely had Hot Wheels as a child. I didn't have the Dideridex. I had the Klingon Warbird as a toy as a kid. I had a Klingon Warbird. Now, as my buddy as a child, well, one of my friends as a child is the one that had the Dideridex Cruiser. That's the one I wanted as a kid, because when I was little, Next Generation was a huge thing. And I'm quite happy that people still really like Next Generation. Although I will say DS9 was a bit of a better series. But I was a little bit older when DS9 was a thing. So it resonated better with me. I mean, Voyager, I enjoyed quite a bit. But as I got older, Voyager was a little bit harder to watch. So DS9 is still the much better one to me. Enterprise, in terms of Star Trek, Enterprise was interesting. I liked Enterprise because it felt closer to our era kind of thing, where it really felt infancy, where they just were just sent out there. I do wish with Star Trek. I mean, there are parts of Star Trek Discovery I like. There are parts I don't. There are certain things they keep doing that just it doesn't feel like it meshes with the continuity. But developers do their thing. There are things with it that I do like. I did like the what was it, the 32nd century? The whole 800 years into the future kind of thing with the programmable matter and all that stuff. That stuff was cool. But I think what they need to do at some point is they just need Star Trek temporal. They need to cover the temporal Cold War and the temporal Accords. Like that's an era of Star Trek that I'd love to see as an episodic series, where there's like, okay, we got to go do this because someone's screwing around with the timeline. Oh, it was Janeway again. God dang it, kind of thing. That'd be a cool one to see. I'd love to see like temporal Cold War and temporal Accords. That would be a great Star Trek series to cover. It would. I understand the difficulty because it wouldn't feel as Starfleet. And I can understand that. This has gone on long enough. I mean, I've jumped topic to topic because I just need to let my brain do its thing. So, yeah, I'm going to go play a game to give enough footage for this. And more noises. Luckily, I didn't curse a bunch this time. And I do apologize for the day before yesterday. I was cursing in there and forgot to censor that. So I need to be better on my censorship because, like I said, I also find it funnier. And if I'm trying to make better decisions, I shouldn't just be cursing all the time anyway. Fuck. Sorry. I couldn't help it, okay? You got to get at least one in. One censor beep of some kind in. Anyway, this is day 12. It's Terra Quator. I'll see everyone tomorrow. Please have a wonderful weekend or your wonderful Friday evening. If you live in the Midwest, you might want to prepare your nads for extra layers. I'll see everyone tomorrow.